And a reminder, the first 30 minutes of this podcast are available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Google and many of the major platforms. The full podcast is available at www.patreon.com/SRBmedia. SRBmedia.
Good evening, Gavin.
Good evening, TC. How are you, mate? You okay?
Steady away.
Steady away. I don't have to go through that script now. Chris has got it all down to a T. He's professionally done it, so I don't mess anything up. Now we can go straight into what kind of week have you had, and are you enjoying the World Cup?
If I'm honest, no. But it's not the football. I've watched clips of it tonight. I've seen Portugal play that tonight.
Yeah, they played well, didn't they?
I watched Brazil yesterday. I saw bits and bats of Spain.
Yeah.
I thought they were poor tonight, really, Spanish. So, but some of it I'm enjoying, but it's the woke side of it what's put me off it.
Yeah.
I think it's put a lot of people off it, and in the woke side of it.
Yeah. I can't turn my TV down. I don't know what's going on with my remote control. I don't know if it's working. It doesn't look as though it's working, but there you go. Can you hear it? Is it interfering?
Not interfering. I can hear it, but it don't bother me.
Yeah, so I've got it on in the background. I don't know what the flipping X happened to my remote control, but it don't seem to be working. But yeah, I know. It's like with all technology, innit? You'll phone up these companies and they'll go, turn it off and turn it on again. Brilliant, then it works. Fantastic. Modern technology at its best. World Cup at its best. What have you seen and sourced for us with the magic moments, T? I've got a few.
Yeah, I've got two. I mean, I think the Brazil came to life other night, and absolutely some of the football at times were absolutely just reminded me of the old Brazil.
Yeah.
The goal with Richarlison was just unbelievable. And the second one really is the one that won tonight. Ramos, the young Portuguese lad who's replaced Ronaldo, he just scored an absolutely humdinger.
Yeah, superb, wasn't it?
But they played quite well. Played some good stuff in Portugal. Been very impressed with him.
Yeah, I mean, he hit it early, didn't he? He didn't give the goalkeeper a chance to set himself. And usually, you know, at the goalkeeper's near post, you'd be critical of the goalkeeper. But my word, didn't he smash it with that left foot?
Listen, when they get it like that,
yeah, absolutely,
it's impossible because it's gone with power.
Yeah,
and the accuracy, and it's gone quick.
Yep.
You know, it's gone that quick that the keeper's never had a chance to get, like you said, set himself up or get anywhere near it. But everything about it, because it's only when you look at it, another couple of inches that way, it's the post, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You know, so there's certain ones when you said, well, you can't blame the goalkeeper for that. Because if I was a manager, I'd have said to him, look, forget that. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, let's get on with it.
Again, it's fine, Mark.
Tonight, I thought Switzerland.
Yeah, I watched Switzerland against Serbia, and I thought they were tremendous. But,
yes, they were.
But
I didn't see it all because I haven't seen all of it. You know, I've seen so many games, but you know, and I watched England and the other night. I thought bits and bats was okay. You know, we went and rave about anything unless you can control the midfield. Then you've got a chance. I don't think we can control the midfield against the Brazilians. Even the Portuguese on this performance, and the French is going to be. When you've got somebody like Mbappe, what's got the pace he's got, you know, it's going to be very interesting on Saturday night. I will watch all that match Saturday night as it happens.
Yeah, I'm one of these that I've seen on social media that Mbappe didn't train today for France. We don't really know what's going on.
Gabby, don't take any notice. Listen.
No. I don't take notice of nothing, T. This is what I'd be thinking. Like, Mbappe hasn't trained for France. There's a damn good reason. Mbappe is fit. And I think...
Don't want him to get injured.
Well, it could be that, and it could also be playing a little bit of mind games where the English are absolutely obsessed with Mbappe. So France have not let him train for a couple of days. The English now are going to go to a flat back four instead of playing three at the back and playing wing backs, which they would. And then all of a sudden they introduce Mbappe. He's on the starting lineup, and do you know what? He's playing on the right wing. That would completely knacker up Gareth Southgate, and we did this with Alan Hudson. You know, you can't mark that kid. He's different class.
There's one thing what all football clubs do. Every football club, and they'll do it today in this day. Everybody wants to play, Gabby.
Yeah, of course they do.
Everybody wants to play.
Yeah.
And in training, there's a lot of people not pulling out will go through. They want to play.
Yeah, of course they do.
And they're not bothered who they injure.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you don't hear a lot about it. A lot of fighting in training, but you do hear of it.
Yeah.
And what causes it is the brutal tackles, because somebody, thinks he gets all the glory. So make no mistake, they're protecting him. He'll be playing on Saturday, and he'll finish up leading goal scorer in this tournament.
100%. Going to my magic moments, T, was Mbappe's brace against Poland. I thought he was fantastic. He has been my player of the tournament. And my take on Mbappe is I really hope he plays against England, because I always believe that you should play against the best team that you can possibly play against, beat them, and then you can call yourself a decent team. The English make me laugh when they suggest that certain nations haven't been tested, haven't played anybody, yet are calling from the rooftops that football's coming home. And it's incredibly stupid.
Don't get involved with the woke.
No,
this is what's up with me with football.
Yeah.
It's the woke side of it.
Yeah.
You know something? The French have got to play what can open it up. We've got two great players what can open it up in Podden and Jack Grealish.
Yep, absolutely.
The French have Mbappe. The Brazils have got 3 or 4 in there. What can open it up? We do well against the average teams. Yeah. We haven't beaten anybody with any natural ability. I'm not convinced about our midfield.
I think it's awful.
Players. Yeah. I think good players, right? But they're not capable of killing, Bellingham and Henderson, killing these balls, putting these killer passes through. They'll work hard and they'll get box to box. But do me a favour.
Absolutely. I posted up before England kicked a ball the other night. Henderson, Bellingham and Rice, our midfield trio is awful. It isn't good enough, and we will fall short. And it's because of Southgate is far too safe, far too conservative. He fears fear, and as long as he's England manager, we will not go anywhere. The bloke's a clown. I'd have sacked him years ago. How you can look at that midfield and not play, okay, he's got Foden a little bit higher up the pitch, but how you cannot play Maddison and Grealish in that midfield is beyond a joke for me. And I'm sick and tired of it. And I almost hope they get knocked out by the French, sack Southgate, we play our best players, and then we stand a really good chance of winning a Euro or a World Cup, because we've got good players.
They'll never play our best players because they'll appoint similar. They're never going to appoint a guy like Guardiola.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in my time, they're never going to appoint that. They will pick majority of their team.
Yeah,
what they say, look, I don't dislike Southgate, but I'll tell people to the face. I know I'm not talking to him here. I'm talking on the phone.
Yeah.
He's woke. Majority. All these majorities are woke.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I loved Brazil, as you mentioned earlier. That goal by Richarlison, I thought was probably the goal of the tournament for me. What a fantastic goal! I thought Brazil for the first 45 minutes were awesome, and I looked at them, and I'm just standing up and applauding. They're doing all them goal celebrations after. I'm absolutely laughing. I'm killing it, because football is entertainment. Do I like all the goal scoring celebrations? If I'm honest, no, I doubt. But, you know, that's what Brazil have always done. In 1994, Bebeto and Romario, they were doing the same thing.
They did that, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So where you hear all these clowns going on about all this Brazil, and also as well what they fail to understand and realise is that when you watch a Premier League game or any game of football in this country, when someone scores a goal, they have these goal-scoring celebrations. I don't like it, but you never hear them pick up on the Premier League players that do it. But when Brazil do it, all of a sudden, it's just so woke. It's incredible.
Hey, listen, ignore them. I understand now what you're saying, because this woke brigade of football, think football weren't invented until, like you said, 1992.
Yeah.
But I put a post, I don't know if you saw it, with Pelly. And
okay.
What I wrote was, all you young people what think your favourite players.
Yeah.
There's only these players who are doing this. And I put something with Pelly on what we're doing. Everything that you see Ronaldo's do and Messi's do, all before any of them were doing them. Same type of things. With every footballs, not light footballs. Yeah. So, and I'm not bitter of anything. Never been bitter. Never got into a manager's office and said, I'm better than him, I'm better than him. If you're not playing me, sell me. End of. I'm not going to sit on the bench.
Absolutely. The game of football is all about wanting to play, wanting to get your starting shirt. And I have posted up tonight that Jack Grealish needs Alan Hudson to mentor him. Alan Hudson could turn Jack into the greatest midfield player on the planet.
It wouldn't work, Gabby.
Sorry?
It wouldn't work. I don't think you'll listen to what I say to you. I really don't. I don't mean that in a nasty way.
Mm-hmm.
Jock says to me yesterday or early part tonight, said, do you know something, Dad? He said, I'm watching England train.
Yeah.
He says, Grealish, if he played like that in training.
Yeah.
I said, Jock, none of y'all will know. When I was playing football, a lot of players used to say to me in training, show me how you do that.
Yeah.
Right? The managers used to say to me, do you want to juggle a ball? You know, get into a circus.
Yeah.
So you're fighting that. The Brazilians are allowed to do it. You can have all you want. England, I've been in enough dressing rooms. I listen to them on television. You know, when Ronaldo first come over here, I love Alan Hansen as a player. Absolutely loved him as a player.
Yeah.
You know, too much showboating.
Yeah, one trick pony.
Showboating in this. Don't let me say, I nearly swore then.
Yeah.
You can have Messi, Alan Hudson, George Best, Pelé, Maradona, right? All mentoring. And if they're not the manager, they have no chance.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish, I told you, not this World Cup, the previous European Championship or whatever it was, I told you, they won't pick him.
No, they won't.
Nobody listens to what I say.
No. You're absolutely spot on. But what Jack's got to do is, I mean, what
play for himself.
Absolutely, 100%.
When he gets the chance.
Yeah.
I've never played for myself. I played for the team.
Yeah.
But if somebody said to me, would I change anything? I said, yeah, I play for myself now.
Absolutely. And this is what I'm saying. So he gets mentored by Uddy and he just like, Jack, play for yourself. This is how you play. Don't listen to your coaches. Don't listen to... If they don't want to pick you, then they don't pick you. Move on and play for a manager that believes in you and he's going to pick you. Because the way you're going on, you're going to waste all that natural ability because you're playing for managers that don't believe in you.
He's gone for 100 million quid.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have to worry about anything, right? I've never been a selfish man, me, ever.
Yeah.
But I'd be more selfish today, right? Because I'd have all the money behind me. And I think, well, if you don't going to pick me, don't pick me. But, you know, when I get on, I'm going to show the world what I can do.
Absolutely.
Especially at this stage.
100%. And that is what the kid has got to do because it's just frightening that he's been the biggest talent that we've seen in this country since Gaza is absolutely wasted because of a clown who's a manager. But Messi's magic moments as well for Argentina. I thought he was tremendous the other night against Australia.
It was rolling back the years.
He was fabulous.
I didn't see it all. I saw bits of it. I saw his goal. But and I saw bits and bats of him, you know.
But again, he's a player too, that he gets the ball and you're just wanting to watch more and more and more of, because he can produce these moments of magic. And also, would like to mention one not from the World Cup. It was a live game on Sunday, and
this I'm sorry for interrupting, but this Ramos has scored again. How they're going to leave him out? He's been absolutely brilliant tonight. He scored 2.
Well, this is the thing, that when you do play like that, T, how can a manager leave you out? And the nice thing that I like about Ronaldo is, he don't pull his punches. He's absolutely as sick as a pig seeing his replacement score these goals, because he knows that he ain't going to be getting a starting shirt anymore.
Now, you've heard what you just said to yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
The audience. You've heard what you just said.
Absolutely.
If Mbappe hadn't trained, right? Because you don't think Ronaldo in training that wouldn't tackle someone on purpose.
No.
All players do it. I've seen them do it.
Yeah.
I've seen them do it.
Yeah.
Right? So don't let him kid you. Mbappe is the biggest thing since sliced bread to play on Saturday.
Oh, 100%. There is no way he's not going to play. And I want him to play because I don't listen
to the media about COVID, so I'm not going to listen to the media about footballers. Them telling me who's a good player and who's not.
Absolutely, T. And the other one that I wanted to pick from the live game on a Sunday was Anij Mehmeti, his goal for Wycombe Wanderers against Pompey. And we have talked about him before on the podcast. He looks a box of tricks and he looks like one for the future. I think he's a 21-year-old lad playing in a division lower than what he can play in. A little bit similar to you, T. When you played in the 3rd division, you were a Premier League player playing in the 3rd tier of English football. This kid, I'm not saying he's at the same level as you, and I'm not saying that he's a Premier League player, but he certainly can play, in my opinion, a league at least above where he's playing at the moment for Wycombe Wanderers.
And I'll tell you, best young player in tournament for me.
Yeah, go on.
That was Salah for Germany. He's only 19 and still a little bit weak. He's
where you gone?
He's gone from Chelsea. I think he's at Bayern Munich now.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Played for England, didn't he, in the youth team with Bellingham?
Yes. Yeah. He looks hell of a player when he fills out. Once to get him on weights and fills out.
I also like the look of, although Spain got beat today, Morocco stand for everything I don't like in football. All they done, I didn't see the game, but I saw the extra time when I got in from work. And I thought the only time they played the ball forward, Morocco, was when they actually took penalties. I thought it was an absolute disgrace. But I've seen little bits and pieces of Gavi, Fatty, that you've identified probably a couple of years ago now on the podcast. Look to play that. Spain have got some great players. It was the Achilles heel in the Euro. They couldn't turn all the possession into goals, and they did score. Again. Yeah, they did score 7 against Costa Rica, but it has been their Achilles heel again. If you could get an Harry Kane and play him for Spain, I think it'd make the world of difference for that team. And I like the young boy Pedri as well. Got a midfield player, Busquets. Okay, he's getting on a little bit.
I'd play Rashford before Kane.
Would you really?
I would, yeah.
Would you not play Callum Wilson instead of?
He's got all the technical ability. He will get goals, and he's got pace to go that way.
Yeah.
We haven't played anybody yet.
No, absolutely, we haven't. No.
Brazil didn't play anybody the other night, but I'm not daft. I look at but at least when they don't play, they play with the tempo and they play with the rhythm. They play the beautiful football.
Oh, it's just joyous, isn't it?
Everybody can like who they want. In my opinion, I think Rashford's a better player than Kane.
Yeah. Well, Portugal look as though they're going to score again. So you got to shoot now, son. Yeah, good goal. I think he should have took it earlier, but 4-0. They have been on fire, and they do look a really good side. Do Portugal. And Ronaldo's got up and he's clapping and he's actually smiling. But I bet you the wokeness of the TV and the media don't show that picture of Ronaldo. But there you go. My football book corner in association with myfootballbooks.com. Andy always sends us a recommendation. I'm doing another podcast, part 10, with Andy next week. And his recommendation this week is Keep Fighting, the Billy Bremner story by Paul Harrison. And on this day, Thursday, the 9th of December, the late and great Billy Bremner was born. What a player.
Brilliant. Absolute. Johnny Giles and Billy Bremner, as a pair of midfield players, they were as good as anybody, I've ever seen. Together in a team, As I do like Uddy, I do like in Tony Curry. They didn't have another one at the side of him, did they? They were good players.
Yeah.
But them two were really.
But again, Curry and Hudson didn't.
Where Curry were top notch, Uddy were top notch, Bally were top notch. The one when Arsenal were a good team, but Bally never had to play like Harvey Kendall alongside him like he did at Everton. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean when you look,
those two for me as a pair were as good as anybody in country.
Absolutely. I mean, I had the pleasure of John's company and on one of the podcasts. You can listen to it, guys, all the w's.patreon.com/SRBmedia. And I said to John, you and Billy was the best double act since Morecambe and Wise. And he did say I did like Morecambe and Wise. But you're right, as a duo, and Hudson was never really in a duo in midfield. There, I mean, you could argue for a certain time at Chelsea he played centrally with Charlie, but Charlie was moved more over as a wider player, and John Hollins was more the central. Absolutely. And then at Stoke City had John Mahoney, so Josh played with him.
They were good players, but the Bremner and Giles were absolutely 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. Yeah,
Bremner and Giles were great players. Uddy were a great player, Curry were a great player, but he never played with another great midfield. Well,
no, they never played together for England.
It was a great team, but it got broke up too early.
Yeah, of course it did. But, that bedrock of the England midfield in the 70s would have been, for me, Curry, Hudson and Ball. And then when Bally come towards the end of his career, you could stick, a Stevie Perryman there as a kind of player that let them two boys play in front of him.
You could have played Glenn Hoddle in there.
Yeah, you could have. You could have played a multitude of players. We have had them players.
Ray Wilkins in there with them too.
Yeah, you could have played anyone there because they were that good. But unfortunately, the England management didn't think that they would.
I wouldn't be picking box-to-box players, me.
No, not at all. Neither would I. But unfortunately, that's what we done. But in terms of when you're looking at a double, see, when Al went to play for Arsenal, he believed he was going to play with Bally and Chippy. Now, if the manager would have been brave enough, Terry Neal, he would have had the best midfield trio, arguably, in British football. Alan Ball, Alan Hudson and Liam Brady. But he wasn't. That would have been, I think, in my opinion, better than Ball, Harvey and Kendall. But again, it's all down to opinions. But the consistent there is Alan Ball.
Like Terry Neal, and I know you mentioned that Uddy didn't like Terry Neal, but I know Bally didn't like Terry Neal.
Didn't know.
Absolute shocking manager.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it all comes down to management. That's the one thing that I've learned doing the podcast with you and Alan, how important the manager is, the philosophy, and them if only moments. And, football is littered with, real fine margins between success and failure at times. But second up is Messi by Guillaume Balaguer. That looks like a fantastic book. It's an updated book. It came out a few years ago, and it does talk about his more recent years at Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, what a forward line that is. Neymar, Messi and Mbappe, and I look at it and I think I'd love them to win the Champions League. I'd love Brazil to win the World Cup or France to win the World Cup because I want football to be the winner. I don't want a team like Morocco to go to the latter stages. Like when Greece won the Euros, I didn't like it. I didn't like Wimbledon winning the FA Cup because they ain't my kind of football players and the football philosophy. That's why I don't like Southgate. That's why I don't like our midfield trio, because when we win, and Alan says, the worst thing we ever done was won the World Cup in '66 because we believe that's a blueprint on how to play football, and it isn't. We played without wingers, without skill, without guile, and without Jimmy Greaves. And I think that, when you win, for me, I want to win in style, and if losing a game means that you have to lose to go forward, then that's what I'll do, because I don't want to win playing boring football. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, snap.
Yeah, I just don't see the point. I don't see, and we've done so many podcasts together, I don't see the point in training all week, being a forward, being a player that can win games as a match winner, and then you don't get the ball and you just want to defend. You think, what's the point in that? There's no point.
You want to go in training with some clubs, or with some not the clubs, with some coaches. I tell you what, it's so boring. And I mean boring. A lot of players don't like training because of, all the working on is defensive.
Yeah.
Like at Huddersfield, and Jack was saying we're all defensive football. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't like it, and it ain't my philosophy, and it ain't what I want to watch in the game of football. And the third book in the trilogy this week is Football Nation, the footballing history of Brazil by David Goldblatt. Looks to be a fantastic book, telling us all about the development of football in Brazil. And when you look at the way that the Brazilians have played in my lifetime, a little bit young really to remember 1970, but from 70 probably 2 onwards, Brazil have always been a constant, and I've loved the way that Brazil play. I guess my favourite Brazilian team to date was the '82 team, and I keep hearing these clowns going on about how they failed in Spain in '82, and I'm going, are you really that stupid? Brazil did not fail in '82. They inspired the world on how to try and play football, how to try and be a football player. Junior, Eder, Socrates, Zico, these were world-class players that got beat by an Italian machine where we realised who Paolo Rossi was, and the Italians went on and won the World Cup that year. Fair play, but not
and
for me.
They were so unlucky, but you need that bit of luck.
Of course you do, yeah, but it was all about
how
Brazil.
Good you are. Manchester City have won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Chelsea played exceptionally well to win the final when they played them in.
Yeah.
But the other 3 times, they've got to quarter-final and been knocked out with poxy goals.
Absolutely. Again, fine margins, T. But if you keep playing football the way football should be played, like Brazil have always played it, of course you will. And, the acid test is, how many World Cups have Brazil won? 5 to date. This could be the 6th that won this year, and that supersedes any team. Real Madrid, the great Real Madrid team, they've always been built upon an attacking philosophy. They've won more Champions League, European Cups than anybody else. Absolutely, because of the way that they play football. So when these clowns tell me, oh no, you win games by defending, do me a favour, go back into your cave, put that big stone across it and don't come out. Because football is about the beautiful game, trying to play forward, scoring goals and entertaining the crowd and inspiring them. I posted up on our group, the Curran View, and others, the documentary of Ray de Park, which is King of the Park, and it's the story of Rivellino, my favourite ever Brazilian player.
Today.
It's incredible.
I watched that. Best midfield player for me in Brazil was Rivellino.
Yeah.
I loved Pele, but I loved the little winger. What do they call him now? Grincha.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was my favourite Brazilian player, but the second favourite is Rivellino. Absolutely unbelievable. And when I listened to that, they sacked the manager.
Yes.
Because he would. Have you listened to that? What you posted up?
Yeah, absolutely. I listened to it. I've watched it a couple of times. Yeah, it was incredible. One, he didn't believe in playing, that kind of game, and then they give Zagala the gig, and he went out and they won the World Cup in 1970. Brazil really didn't fancy themselves in 70 because of what was going on before with the previous manager. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But again,
I'd love to see Pep Guardiola with these players.
Yes, same would I.
Regardless of what anybody said, he would not pick Henderson.
No.
The young lad looks a good player, but he's still a box-to-box player for me.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, but he might get him playing